Okay, that's some basics about strings. What I'd like to do now is go look at some basics about images. So what I'll do is I'll make a new tab. And Dr. Racket has lots of different kinds of image functions. In order to tell it that we want to use the ones for this course, we're going to type at the top of this file, and any file in this course that uses image functions, require to HTTP image. And what this is telling Dr. Racket is it means we want to use the image functions that come from the second edition of the How to Design Programs book. So it's a little bit of a mouthful, but you can just type that at the top of any file in which we're using image functions. Now there's lots and lots of image primitives. Some of them make images. For example, the circle primitive. The first argument to circle is the radius in screen coordinates, or pixels. The second argument to circle says whether the circle should be solid or an outline. And the third argument is a color. So that expression there produces that red circle. So we call the primitive circle, we get a red circle. And there's lots of similar shapes. Rectangle. Rectangle takes a width and a height. And it could take outline or solid, and it has different, we can try some of our other colors. There we go, we've got a rectangle. And there's just a whole bunch of them. I'm not going to go through all of them right now. Another one that's quite useful, though, is called text. Text takes a string, for example, hello, and a font size like 24, and another color like orange, and it produces, this is now an image of the string hello in font size 24, color orange. So this is an image now, it's not a string. So that's a bunch of useful primitives for making images. Let me talk about some things we can do with the images once we have them made. One useful primitive is above. So if I say above, we'll make a circle of size 10 that's solid and red. And I'll make another couple circles. What I'll do is I'll do this easily by cutting and pasting. And then I'll just change the sizes. Let's say we'll make this one 20, and we'll make this one 30. And to make it pretty, we can change the colors to, there we go. So now what happens when I run that is I get this stack of the images. Above takes all of the images that it receives as arguments, and it stacks them one on top of the other. So above is kind of a sort of version of string append for images. But since images can be arrayed in lots of different ways, there's lots of other functions. So in addition to above, there's, for example, beside. And if I run that, I get that shape. And in addition to beside, there's a thing called overlay. Overlay. And if I run that, overlay stacks them on top of each other. There's lots and lots of primitives that operate on images. And as you do the homework exercises this week, you get a chance to look them up and play with them. But for example, there's functions that make ellipses and stars and triangles and things like that. And you can line images up and put them next to each other in different ways. But these are a good set of basic functions right here: circle, rectangle, text, overlay, above, and beside. So I've got another little exercise you can do here to test your understanding about primitives that operate on images.